Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Hollis finds Tom's letters to Poppy. Thomas says goodbye to Hope. The Bold and the Beautiful B. Spoilers recap for Thursday, July 11 reveals that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, pushed Hope Logan, Annika Noel, to let Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, go and support his engagement to Paris Buckingham, Diamond White. However, Brooke also warned Hope that John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, wasn't the man for her. Hope said she knew and that she wasn't a homewrecker, so Brooke seemed satisfied as she hugged her daughter. At the Forrester estate, Eric Forrester, John McCook, assured Thomas that he was looking forward to the wedding and said he couldn't wait to welcome Paris to the family. No matter what date Thomas and Paris decided on, Eric was glad to be hosting the nuptials. Thomas hated that Hope was feeling so lost and seemed to feel a bit responsible, but Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., suggested it wasn't his son's fault. After Thomas mentioned that he was heading back overseas with Paris and Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samiri, Ridge and Eric understood that they had to do what was best for them. Later, Ridge found Brooke at Forrester Creations and said he had a great talk with his son, so Brooke admitted she had a good talk with Hope too. Brooke was more hopeful about getting through to Hope and agreed with Ridge about wanting everyone to be happy. In the design office on Thursday's B&B episode, Thomas showed up to let Hope know his plans. Hope cut Thomas off since she believed she owed him an apology for handling his engagement news so poorly. Once Hope said she was truly sorry and that Thomas deserved better from her, he told her there was no need to apologize. Thomas understood why Hope reacted the way she did and didn't hold it against her. Hope insisted that if Thomas really wanted a future with Paris, then she wished him the best. As Hope got choked up, she said maybe it was all meant to be. And if so, then she hoped what Thomas had with Paris was everlasting and wonderful. Thomas said that meant a lot to him before revealing that he was heading back to France with Douglas and Paris. Hope wished she could have spent more time with Douglas, but she knew he had a home in France now and was sure they could work it all out. Thomas promised that he'd never take Douglas away from Hope and ultimately reached for her hand. Once Thomas said he was really sorry for everything. He hoped she understood why he had to move on with his life. Thomas knew Hope would move on too, so he told her to pick the right guy and urged her to promise that she'd make it work no matter what. After Thomas said goodbye, Hope told him goodbye as well and stood there crying as he left. At Il Giardino, Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, tried caviar for the first time as Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, explained that Italian caviar in particular was one of the best in the world. Luna had learned that from Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, who wanted his new family to experience all the finer things in life. Luna also admitted to taking a trip to Spencer Publications recently and was keeping an open mind about her career, so Bill was happy about that since it was her birthright. Bill got confirmation that Luna still wanted him to adopt her, so they share a sweet hug at their table. In the supply closet, Paul Hollister, Hollis W. Chambers, noticed the flickering lights and was about to look inside Tom Starr's Clint Howard backpack when Deacon Sharp, Sean Canan, called for another case of wine. Hollis left the backpack, but he was distracted on the job and told Deacon that he couldn't stop wondering why Tom overdosed that night. Soon after, Hollis went back to the supply closet, where the lights continued to flicker. Once Hollis opened up Tom's backpack, he pulled out a manila envelope that was filled with letters, presumably the ones Poppy had returned to Tom. Hollis stood there looking puzzled as he held the stack of letters, so he was clearly trying to make sense of what he'd found. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hollis could face a grim fate following his latest discovery, so stick with us for more predictions on the mystery and updates on the fallout for Hollis. The morning light streamed through the elegant curtains of the Forrester mansion, casting a warm glow on the tastefully decorated living room. Hollis, an eager intern at Forrester Creations, was in awe of the grandeur surrounding him. Today was his first day assisting with the household errands, a task given to him by Ridge to test his dedication and attention to detail. As Hollis dusted the shelves, his eyes fell upon an old wooden chest partially hidden beneath an ornate side table. Curiosity got the better of him, and he gently pulled it out. The chest creaked open, revealing a bundle of old letters tied with a red ribbon. He hesitated for a moment before picking one up, noticing the elegant handwriting addressed to Poppy. Hollis's heart raced as he realized he had stumbled upon a collection of Thomas's letters. These letters, written during his tumultuous relationship with Poppy, seemed to hold untold secrets and emotions. The weight of his discovery pressed on him, knowing that these letters might contain truths that could impact the Forrester family. Meanwhile, in the sleek, modern office of Forrester Creations, Thomas sat at his desk, staring at a framed photo of Hope. The recent events had left him torn and conflicted. His feelings for Hope had always been complicated, a mix of love, obsession, and regret. As he pondered his next move, his phone buzzed with a message from his sister, Steffi. She had sensed his inner turmoil and suggested they meet at their favorite cafe to talk. Thomas agreed, knowing he needed to confide in someone. At the cafe, Steffi listened intently as Thomas poured out his heart. He confessed his lingering feelings for Hope and his struggle to move on. Steffi, ever the supportive sister, offered words of wisdom and urged him to find closure, reminding him of the importance of his own happiness and mental well-being. Back at the mansion, Hollis couldn't resist reading one of the letters. The words on the page revealed a side of Thomas that few had seen: vulnerable, sincere, and deeply in love. Poppy had been a significant part of his life, and their relationship had left a lasting impact on him. Hollis quickly realized the gravity of what he had found. These letters could change the way the Forresters viewed Thomas and his past. Torn between his duty to respect Thomas's privacy and the potential importance of these letters, Hollis decided to seek advice from someone he trusted, Brooke. Brooke was in her office at Forrester Creations when Hollis arrived, holding the bundle of letters with a look of concern on his face. He explained the situation, handing her one of the letters to read. As Brooke's eyes scanned the page, her expression softened, and she felt a pang of empathy for Thomas. Brooke knew that these letters could either heal or hurt, depending on how they were handled. She contemplated the best course of action, considering the potential fallout and the impact on her family. Ultimately, she decided to confront Thomas directly, believing that honesty and openness were the best path forward. Later that day, Brooke found Thomas in his office, still lost in thought. She approached him gently, holding the bundle of letters in her hands. "Thomas, we need to talk," she began, her voice soft but firm. Thomas looked up, confusion and apprehension flickering in his eyes. Brooke handed him the letters, explaining how Hollis had found them and the impact they had on her. She urged Thomas to read them and reflect on his past, encouraging him to find closure and move forward. As Thomas read through the letters, memories of his time with Poppy flooded back. The love, the heartbreak, the lessons learned, it all came rushing back to him. Tears welled up in his eyes as he realized the depth of his emotions and the need to let go of the past. In a final act of closure, Thomas decided to visit Hope. He found her in the design studio, working on a new collection. She looked up, surprised to see him but sensing the seriousness in his demeanor. "Hope, there's something I need to say," Thomas began, his voice trembling with emotion. "I've loved you for so long, and it's been a journey of highs and lows. But I need to move on for my sake and for yours." Hope listened, her eyes softening with understanding. She knew how much Thomas had struggled and admired his courage to face his feelings. They shared a heartfelt conversation, reminiscing about their past and acknowledging the importance of moving forward. As Thomas walked away from the studio, he felt a sense of relief and liberation. The weight of the past had lifted, and he was ready to embrace a future filled with hope and new possibilities. Back at the Forrester mansion, Hollis felt a sense of accomplishment. He had inadvertently played a role in helping Thomas find closure and a path to healing. The letters were returned to their rightful place, but their impact would be felt for years to come. The Forrester family gathered for dinner that evening, a renewed sense of unity and understanding in the air. Thomas smiled, feeling lighter and more at peace than he had in a long time. The future was uncertain, but he knew that with his family's support and his newfound clarity, he could face whatever challenges lay ahead. This recap captures the emotional journey of Thomas as he confronts his past, finds closure, and says goodbye to his lingering feelings for hope. The discovery of the letters adds a layer of intrigue and depth to the story, highlighting the complexities of love, loss, and healing.